The year 2025. Wildfires rage across continents, consuming everything in their path. The once lush forests are now reduced to ashes, and the skies are painted with a haunting orange hue. The air is thick with smoke, making it difficult to breathe. Communities are being evacuated, and lives are being uprooted. The devastation is unimaginable, and the recovery seems like a distant dream. Hurricanes, once rare, now batter coastlines with terrifying regularity. These powerful storms bring with them massive waves and relentless winds, tearing apart homes and infrastructure. Coastal cities are left in ruins, and the economic impact is staggering. The frequency and intensity of these hurricanes have increased, leaving scientists and residents alike in a state of constant anxiety. Floods engulf entire cities, leaving behind a trail of devastation. Streets turn into rivers, and buildings are submerged. The water levels rise rapidly, giving people little time to escape. The aftermath is a scene of chaos, with debris scattered everywhere and homes destroyed. The emotional and financial toll on the affected communities is immense, and the road to recovery is long and arduous. These are not isolated incidents. They are part of a larger pattern of extreme weather events that are becoming increasingly common. Each disaster is a stark reminder of the fragility of our environment and the urgent need for action. The interconnectedness of these events highlights the global nature of the crisis we face. This is our new normal, a planet in chaos. The frequency and severity of these natural disasters are unprecedented. The impact is felt worldwide, affecting millions of lives. The sense of security we once had is now replaced with uncertainty and fear. The question that looms large is, how did we get here, and what can we do to change our course? A future on the brink. The signs of environmental destruction are everywhere. From submerged city skylines to desolate landscapes, the evidence is undeniable. The choices we make today will determine the fate of our planet. It is a call to action for every individual, community, and nation to come together and address this crisis head-on. We are told these are the consequences of our actions. The industrial activities that have fueled our progress are now contributing to our downfall. The emissions from factories, the deforestation, and the relentless exploitation of natural resources have all played a part in bringing us to this point. It is a stark reminder of the delicate balance between progress and preservation. Climate change, they call it. The melting glaciers and rising sea levels are clear indicators of the changing climate. The data is irrefutable, and the effects are being felt across the globe. The scientific community has been sounding the alarm for decades, but the response has been slow and inadequate. The time for complacency is over. We must act now. The Earth's temperature is rising, and we are to blame. The satellite imagery and data charts show a clear trend of increasing global temperatures. Heat waves are becoming more frequent and severe, affecting urban areas and vulnerable populations. The consequences of our actions are becoming more apparent with each passing day. But what if there's more to the story? What if the narrative we've been told is only part of the picture? There are questions that remain unanswered and mysteries that need to be unraveled. The complexity of the situation demands a deeper understanding and a willingness to explore all possibilities. What if the line between natural disaster and calculated destruction is not so clear? The possibility of manipulation and interference cannot be ignored. There are forces at play that may be influencing the very fabric of our environment. The distinction between natural and man-made disasters is becoming increasingly blurred. What if someone, somewhere, is manipulating the very forces of nature? The technology exists, and the implications are profound. The idea that weather and environmental conditions could be controlled or altered is no longer confined to the realm of science fiction. It is a reality that we must confront and understand. This is not science fiction. The advancements in technology have made it possible to influence weather patterns and environmental conditions. The potential for misuse and unintended consequences is a serious concern. It is a reminder of the power we wield and the responsibility that comes with it. This is the reality we must confront. The protests and calls for action are growing louder. People are demanding change and accountability. The awareness and urgency are spreading, but it is not enough. We must translate this momentum into concrete actions and policies that address the root causes of the crisis. The evidence is all around us, hidden in plain sight. The signs of environmental degradation and climate anomalies are everywhere. The data and observations are clear, but the challenge lies in interpreting and acting on them. It requires a collective effort and a commitment to change. To understand the truth, we must be willing to ask difficult questions. The pursuit of knowledge and truth is not easy, but it is essential. We must challenge assumptions, seek out new information, and be open to different perspectives. It is a journey that requires courage and determination. We must be prepared to challenge the official narrative. The mainstream narrative may not always capture the full picture. it is important to question and critically evaluate the information we receive. The stakes are too high to accept things at face value. We must dig deeper and seek out the truth. The stakes have never been higher. The future of our planet and the well-being of future generations depend on the actions we take today. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated. Time is running out, and the window for meaningful action is closing. The future of our planet hangs in the balance. The choices we make now will shape the world for generations to come. It is a responsibility that we must take seriously. The path forward requires bold actions, innovative solutions, and a collective commitment to preserving our planet for future generations. The connection between human activity and environmental disaster is undeniable. From the Industrial Revolution to the present day, our relentless pursuit of progress has come at a significant cost to the natural world. Factories belching out smoke, cars spewing exhaust, and the widespread deforestation for agriculture and urban development have all contributed to a growing environmental crisis. Our reliance on fossil fuels has released a toxic cocktail of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, creating an invisible blanket that traps heat. This greenhouse effect is not just a scientific concept, it is a reality that is reshaping our world in profound ways. The carbon dioxide, methane, and other pollutants we emit are altering the very fabric of our climate. Trapping heat and disrupting the delicate balance of our planet's climate, these gases are causing global temperatures to rise. The polar ice caps are melting at an alarming rate, sea levels are rising, and weather patterns are becoming increasingly erratic. The once predictable seasons are now marked by extremes, with hotter summers, colder winters, and more intense storms. The consequences are all around us. We see it in the form of more frequent and severe weather events, from hurricanes and typhoons to droughts and wildfires. These natural disasters are no longer rare occurrences, they are becoming the new norm, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The intensification of hurricanes is a prime example. Warmer ocean temperatures provide the perfect breeding ground for these powerful storms, allowing them to gather strength and unleash their fury on coastal communities. The damage they cause is not just physical but also economic and emotional, displacing families and disrupting lives. Warmer ocean temperatures fuel these storms, making them more powerful and destructive. The energy from the warm water is transferred to the storm, increasing its intensity and the amount of rainfall it can produce. This leads to more severe flooding and storm surges, which can devastate coastal areas. Hurricane Maria, which devastated Puerto Rico in 2017, serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of our inaction. The storm left the island in ruins, with thousands of homes destroyed and millions of people without power or clean water. The recovery has been slow and painful, highlighting the vulnerability of communities in the face of such powerful natural forces. Wildfires, too, are becoming more frequent and intense. The combination of rising temperatures and prolonged droughts creates tinderbox conditions, turning forests into infernos. These fires not only destroy vast areas of land, but also release massive amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, further exacerbating the problem. Rising temperatures create tinderbox conditions, turning forests into infernos. The dry, parched landscapes are highly susceptible to ignition, and once a fire starts, it can spread rapidly, consuming everything in its path. The loss of forests also means the loss of biodiversity, as countless species lose their habitats. The 2020 Australian bushfires, which burned an area larger than Portugal, are a chilling testament to this new reality. The fires ravaged communities, destroyed homes, and killed or displaced an estimated 3 billion animals. The scale of the disaster was unprecedented, and the recovery efforts are still ongoing. Flooding, once a seasonal occurrence, is now a year-round threat. The increased frequency and intensity of storms combined with rising sea levels mean that many areas are at constant risk of flooding. This not only affects people's homes and livelihoods but also has significant implications for agriculture and food security. Rising sea levels driven by melting glaciers and thermal expansion are putting coastal communities at risk. The encroaching waters are eroding shorelines, swallowing up land, and forcing people to relocate. This is particularly devastating for small island nations and low-lying coastal regions where entire communities are being displaced. The 2023 floods in Bangladesh, which displaced millions, offer a glimpse of the devastation to come. The country, already vulnerable due to its low-lying geography, is facing increasing challenges as climate change accelerates. The floods have destroyed homes, crops, and infrastructure, leaving millions in need of aid. These are not isolated incidents. They are part of a larger pattern of environmental degradation and climate change that is affecting every corner of the globe. The interconnected nature of these events means that a disaster in one part of the world can have ripple effects elsewhere, highlighting the need for a coordinated global response. They are interconnected symptoms of a planet in crisis. The changes we are witnessing are the result of decades of environmental neglect and unsustainable practices. To address this crisis, we must take immediate and decisive action to reduce our carbon footprint, protect natural habitats and transition to renewable energy sources, a crisis of our own making. But it is also a crisis that we have the power to solve. By acknowledging our role in creating these problems, we can begin to take the necessary steps to mitigate their impact and build a more sustainable future for generations to come.